Hey guys, hi everybody, hello to you all, hope you're doing well. This is Emanuela Nyoki and I'm a wedding planner, I'm a journalist. If you're just tuning into my channel for the first time, please don't forget to subscribe. So I give little tips on wedding planning and particularly to those in Cameroon and African countries, because I'm talking under the African context, the way we do our weddings in Africa. So today we're going to focus on the importance of a wedding ring. How important is a wedding ring when you're planning for your wedding? So guys, today let's talk about how important is the wedding ring. Most people in Africa, particularly in Cameroon, have noticed that when somebody calls you to plan their wedding, or even those, but that's because many people decide to plan their weddings themselves. So when you ask them, have you gotten your rings? Everything you ask, is this ready? Is that ready? Is that, you discover that they're so focused about so many other things, feeding people, they're dressing and everything, and they are ready to get even a ring of 5,000 francs CFA, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, even a ring of 35 CFA francs. It's not going to last, because when you, mostly women, we do washing, the house chores, you do a lot of things, wearing your ring, and I bet you within a year or two your ring is going to depreciate. You will not even like what you're seeing. There are so many beautiful wedding rings. We have the traditional wedding type wedding ring, like what I have on. They are different with the stones on it, different designs, like what I have on. Like if you see my ring, you're not going to see it closely. This one was made for my wedding, so my husband's name is inside, and the date of our marriage. You can go for a ring and order for your ring. It is made under your terms and what you like, made up of gold and a little pacotier, all these good materials, but majority gold. It is going to last. If I tell you how many years I'm married now and I've never gone for it to be cleaned, it would last. But I bet you I have a couple of friends and other people around me who have gotten married just within a year or year and a half. Somebody's talking and the person makes his hand like that and look at the ring. They call it in Africa whitewash. Everything is all white, like everything is like you bought a silver ring, and this fake silver ring even is, of which that was not the goal. That's not what you wanted for, because they spent money on every other thing, and since they were working under a budget which was not enough, finally they had to go for a ring which cost just like 20,000, 30,000, and it did not meet their expectations. So please, ladies and gentlemen, young ladies, I know that we have very beautiful ladies out there. They are so picky. When somebody asks you to get married to you, particularly if you're not very rich, those in the middle class and those in the lower class, everybody can have a good ring. It's just for you to plan for it. Majority of people who get married are those who have been dating for a long time. So when he proposes to you, it's not like he wants to get married to you tomorrow. No. So you have time that you guys can prepare for your wedding. I bet you when you decide to get married and you set a date, if it is next year, like I have weddings that have been set for next year already that I'm planning. I have a wedding for Easter, I have a wedding for February, that the people already know. So what the first thing I told them when immediately they set the date for their wedding, I said, get your wedding rings. They told me, okay, we're going to do that. I said, get a wedding ring so you get a good wedding ring. When you tell some people in the middle class that I bought a ring for 500,000, they're like, what? A ring for 500,000? What for? No, it's your wedding ring. See, this ring, it has a lot of symbols. This is what tells you that you're married. This is what you show, like, people in the world or outside, in the whole world. Everybody, is the sign that shows that this person is married, even though we know, there's some funny guys out there that when they go and they don't want some ladies to know that they're married, they take it off. Even some women, it's not only guys who do it. There are women who take off their rings to hide, to do fishy things, but that is not good. This is what actually shows that you're married, and there are a lot of vows you take on these rings. So most people, when it gets washed out like that, worn out, and it's not beautiful anymore, it is so difficult for them when they're married, for them to change and get a new ring. And we know our African tradition, our African beliefs. These rings are so important when it goes through that process. Maybe your traditional marriage, your council marriage, and your church wedding. It has been blessed by the priest or the pastor or reverend, whoever you're going to. If you're a Christian, your parents, and then in the council by the mayor. All that process with everybody being a witness, and then later you need to throw that ring and get a new one. Would you go through that process again? No. I know so many people who are not willing to go through that process. Some people don't even think that after that they can get a ring and go back to church for it to be blessed. I know people who have won their rings, and anyway, it might be a myth. They told me they had horrible dreams because they were not blessed. It depends on what you believe. So if you don't want to go through all the stress, prepare your wedding before time. Get a good ring. One of this ring, if you get a good ring from like 200,000, one ring, not just the two rings. So that means if one is 200,000, the two will be 400,000 for you and your husband. That is how expensive like some rings start. I'm talking to particularly those of the middle class and the low class who think they don't get the necessity to spend too much on the ring. Go, I bet you check majority of people who got married 2018, 2019, 2020, even way before and now lately. All of them have shining rings, but go to get the value, go to get the quality of the ring. You would see they are not good rings. Those rings are bound to wash out or to look nasty in just a couple of years, of which you want your marriage to stay for a lifetime. We know these are worldly things, these are things that might not stay forever, but at least you stay for a very long time because you have it on every time. You need to keep it nice, and so sacrifice for that ring. You sacrifice to give people food, you sacrifice to give people drinks for your dressings, you want glamour, you want everything, but you don't care about your ring. You get a ring for 5,000, you know it's going to blossom that day, and then later, within 2 months, 3 months, I know people that if you see their rings after 2 months, you will not believe that the person got married just like recently. Why? Why go for something that some people, like a couple of people, and since I started doing these videos about my program, Special Weddings, there are people who wrote to me, talk about rings, because like people don't know about the importance. Please get a good ring. Ladies, I know some guys who are so picky too, that like, because some ladies when they get married they don't dress well at home, they're just there. Their guys are the ones buying dresses, they see something nice they buy for their wife. I know guys who are so picky. Please get the ring. When you propose to your wife and you're set to get married next year, get your ring this year. If you're set to get married in 6 months, get your rings first. There are people who are rich. You can plan a wedding for 1 week. I've never done that because I've not had the opportunity to. But if I get somebody that gives me the opportunity with 1 week and the money, with the budget, you're going to do it. There are people who said they're waiting for 1 month. Like somebody proposed to you and the person wants to get married to you immediately. The person has his money, fine, everything is on point. But there are those who don't have the money. But that does not mean you cannot have a beautiful wedding. You cannot have a wedding of glamour, a dream wedding. No, you can have that wedding. It's for you to plan. And how do you plan? If you don't know how to do it, get a wedding planner. I don't know why people feel wedding planners are so expensive. Sometimes I'm even willing to do it for free. Like, get me to help you, direct you on what to do. I learned it, I studied it, and I'm doing it with passion because I love what I do. There are people that have said, just bring your wedding to me and I'll help you direct it. I don't need you to pay me. Like, I can just help you, tell you, do this, do that, do that, do that, do that, do that, and ease your work and you can do it. But definitely, there are some that we know wedding planners, they have made a name already, and so they are very big, they are very expensive. But these tips that I'm giving you, you can plan your weddings yourself and then go for the essential. Go for what would last for a lifetime if you want your marriage to last for a lifetime. I'm not saying that the ring will help your marriage last for a lifetime, but since this is one of the symbols of your marriage, it needs to last for that long. I know people that their wives have died and they continue putting on the rings. Their husbands have died and they continue putting on the rings. So that is how important your wedding ring is. So go for a nice ring. Go for a ring of value. Go for a beautiful ring that you can use even later on. And everybody's going to know that you've gotten married, not now, but as far as you want to stay, your ring is going to be the sign that you had something good. So please go for the best. It does not mean if you're poor or if you're in the lower class or the middle class you cannot get something good. You cannot do a wedding of glamour. No, I bet you all is planning. Go for the best. Start planning early. Go for the essential things, the things that you know is going to last, the things that you know those are the main things. That's why you're getting married. Go for it first, and then giving people food and every other thing, the glamour can come later. If you have 4 million, how many million at this time and you want to go for it, you will do it. But go for something that would last. Go for something that you can use later, because when you get married, you say, no, I'll just buy a ring for 10,000 francs. After I get married, later we can buy it. I bet you when you get married, you start having other charges and other bills. You of the low class or the middle class, when you get married, she gets pregnant, the women will get pregnant. Some people after marriage, they lost their job. Some people, instead after marriage, they go up. But there are others who have different charges, because I bet you in Africa, when you're married, you're not on your own. You're taking care of the wife's family and your family. Both families, like, if anything happens in the wife's family, you have to participate. Vice versa. And the wife has to do the same. So now you see your charges are adding. Instead, you have more bills to pay. Children are coming. You want to go into a bigger home. You want to have a car. You want to have a business. So your things are instead climbing up and up. And now you're not able to meet up to get one single ring for 500,000. Not to talk of 2 rings for 1 million. You cannot meet up. So all those things are much more easier before than after. Ask how many, do an interview, try it around. Ask how many couples after marriage have bought good rings 2 to 3 years. No, my sister-in-law, for example, she got her, they just changed their wedding ring. She has been married for like 10 years. They succeeded to change it but last year, and I bet you they not even go for blessing. They just change their rings, and most people don't want that. So if you want to avoid that stress, if you don't want to go through that, get your wedding ring on time and get a good ring. If you have a guy who says, no, let's do everything, we'll get the wedding rings later because we are just amongst us. No. You the girl say no. You the guy say no. Go for a good wedding ring, and I bet you always live to remember that later. So if there's any other topic you want me to talk about, comment in the video, and please subscribe, share the videos. And this is Emmanuel Anyoki. The program is Spiritual Weddings. You can also look at the other videos I post each week. I try to post a new video, I beg your pardon, on tips on wedding planning. So you can also follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Emmanuel Anyoki is the name. Thank you very much. Have a beautiful day.